Scorpios, hello, hello, my loves. Welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. I hope that y'all are doing well. Scorpios, I don't know. I felt kind of like sat down to do this, and I was like, I just felt like nauseous all of a sudden. I don't know. Um, but this doesn't seem like a bad read in any way, shape, or form. So maybe you're just feeling kind of like, oof, about something. But you've got the sword in the empty room, the poet, the lover, the mystic, and the heart. And I mean, the empty room, who am I when no one else is around? Who am I when no one's telling me who I have to be or how I have to be it or any of those things, right? A lot of us have gone through this death of identity, whether that's, leaving corporate America, you know what I mean? And then, well, I don't know, because I almost feel like this sense of like leaving corporate America and then having somebody trying to corporatize you, like, what? Or, um, like pursuing an art, but then having to really question, like what is that art to me, right? If I know that I have a technique or I have a style, then I need to understand what is that technique and what is that style. Um, what's my genre? How do I describe that? How do I explain that to people, right? Diving in really deep and uncovering where you belong and where you don't belong and where other people belong in that and where other people don't belong in that. You know, um, because I feel like you didn't exit one world to enter into it again in a different format, and you need to figure out what that means and why, and make your decisions accordingly. And part of that process, the poet, is the idea of being able to find the beauty in the pain, find the purpose behind the chaos. Because if you can't find purpose in chaos, you're fucked. Because the world is chaos. Right? And Scorpio gets that. And I also think that you understand the need to, um, you know, take that in deeper, right? Scorpios are depth. Scorpios want to take it as far as they can to like understand it in like its most significant form, um, to give it purpose. The mystic is that psychic knowing, and Scorpio. I feel like that's such an energy for you all, because it's because you when you remove the voices of others, that's when you find your sacred voice. And I feel like there have been people who've wanted to take your sacred voice and tell you how to use it and how to speak, and what's okay and what's not okay, and why you are reckless or extreme or evocative. And you're like, yes, 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 and yes, thank you for noticing. Thank you for noticing, that I'm not anything like the rest of them. Oh, it's the song. I want to say Natasha Bedingfield, Blank Page. But I feel like that's kind of how you feel. You feel like you have this blank page because you have, I just feel like this freedom of your voice, because you got rid of all the people who wanted to tell you how you could use it. They wanted to tell you how you could create your art, and like the context in which it needed to be created and the format that it needed to be created in, and like the voice that you were supposed to use. And you're like, my voice is the voice I use. My voice is what creates my reality. So my voice is the one that I use. My instincts are the ones that I trust. My knowing is what I believe in, and my heart is what I hold true to. And I feel like because you've done that, because you've stopped letting other people shove their way in and shove you around to like so that they can take up all your space, you are like, no, I'm recognizing every single time that happens and the way that it happens and how I will ensure that it never happens again. Because I know the purpose behind my pain, and I am headed in the direction of my heart, in the direction of my calling, in the direction of my purpose. Steamrolling. Yeah. Don't get in front of me. You'll get run over. Scorpios. You know, though. You know. Okay. Two of Cups. Oh, God. Okay, hold on. Sorry. We got a stack down here. Yeah. Well, again, like the people who want to tell you how you can create your art, how you can how you can transform into your higher self, how you can. Well, I just feel like, well, you can only use it if you use it this way, and it's like somebody who watched a YouTube video on how to like make something, but they don't have any consciousness of the ingredients or like the flavor that each of those ingredients adds, and how if you're off by just even that much, the whole flavor of something could be ruined. Like it's such a precise art. And I feel like people who saw your art on a stand somewhere wanted to come and critique it and tell you how you were doing everything wrong, and then wanted to get a whole bunch of people to tell you how they're right, that you're wrong. And I just kind of feel like, ew. And you know that, and you follow your psychic knowing, and you stand in your truth, and you go in the directions that are really, I think, honor your intuition and enable you to create according to what's going to be successful to you, because nobody can control the voice of the artist. However that plays out for you, whether it's actual art or it's work, and like how you accomplish things at work, and they want to tell you that you have to follow these guidelines and these expectations, and everybody who's following those guidelines and expectations barely meets quota, and you come in, do it outside of the box, and like blow them all out of the water. You know what I mean? And it's just kind of like, well, it's because I didn't listen to your voice. It's because I didn't take on your identity. It's because I didn't sell myself to a fucking corporate minded you know what I mean? Like all of those things that are not supposed to be have come to pass. I will never turn back to those things. You know what I mean? You do. And I love that. Okay. But anyways, however that plays itself out for you, I feel like you have to really stop and you have to question it, because you have to figure out like where do the other voices stop and where does your voice end? Well, because it does almost feel like intrusive thoughts, and just like these intrusive thoughts that are like coming at you with everything that you can do wrong, or everything that you've done wrong, and everything that you can do better, and really having to sit with like, where are these intrusive thoughts coming from? Is it that I'm actually being attacked, or is it that I'm struggling with this insecurity? Is it, you know what I mean? Like, is it that I have developed my intuition and I know, I am very easily capable of distinguishing my own voice, my own purpose, my own art from others, however that plays out for you. But I feel like you make this distinction, and it's really great that you do, because you've got the 10 of Pentacles twice, And then you have the Ace of Pentacles, the four or the Three of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles. There's a lot of Pentacles here, Scorpios. Queen of Pentacles. I mean, Pentacles on Pentacles on Pentacles. I just feel like whatever it is that you do, it goes quickly because you are so in tune with your own voice, in tune with your own purpose, in tune with your own intention. And as long as you are in tune with you, what's going on with the rest of the world isn't going to affect you. You're not going to let it affect you. You're not going to let it, like join forces with the intrusive thoughts. Oh, the King of Pentacles again. Sorry, we had a whole nother stack, but I just hadn't gotten that far. Well, I do love this, though, because you have the King of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, the Two of Cups, the Three of Wands, Justice, the Moon, using that psychic moon twice. Using those knowings, using those intuitions, following like the voice of you, because you are the one who is creating, and seeing your magic very differently, because when people want to take your voice, they want to take your magic. And sometimes you have to really figure out what that means. And when you do, and you make your decisions accordingly, I mean, it does, like the doors don't just open, the carpet's rolled out, there's confetti in the air, there's music everywhere, people are dancing, there's a celebration. Almost like a celebration of a homecoming. Homecoming, again, can play out in so many different ways, but like if we're calling in our soul tribe, we're calling in our soul tribe because we've tribed with them before, right? And sometimes there's a sense of coming home to like the souls we've known from lives before, and just the sense of like coming home to your soul tribe. I love that, Scorpios. That's beautiful. If it's not your soul tribe, maybe it's your actual family, and you're having a homecoming and everybody's really excited that you're there, and like you tried something out and it didn't really work for you, and so now you're going home and you're really digging into whatever it is that you love to do most. It'll play out differently for everyone, because obviously I've got Scorpios in all different ranges here, and that's fantastic, and I love that. But whatever it is, Scorpio, it's beautiful, and it feels like it comes because you made a decision to really separate your voice from others, your art from others, your purpose from others. Distinction. Empress. The Empress, that's it. Well, I mean, it's fantastic though. I love it because it's power. It's a powerful energy. It's an aware energy. It's an energy that's backed with strength and knowing and abundance, with magic, with learned lessons. That I feel like a hundredfold. Everything you lose, everything you sacrifice, everything you lay down, you get back 100-fold. And I just feel like whatever it is that you've had to lay down, I don't think it's been easy for you to lay it down. I think you've clung to it. And there is this sense of finally laying it down. But I think that a lot of that has to do with the fact that you feel comfortable laying it down. You feel comfortable. It's a Jessie Reyez song. I can't even think of it right now, but it's something about like, put your bags down. Yeah, which is kind of with the homecoming. Um, Again, however that plays out for you, whether it's soul tribe, family, I just feel like there's this sense of if you took your voice back, you took your identity back, you took your art back. I feel like you dropped the mask, you dropped the identity, you dropped the truth bomb, you know, and I feel like the the village is kind of, you know, like that ring of fire, but it's just kind of like this, like you will not own me. You will not dictate what I say, how I say it, or why I say it. My voice is my gift. My knowing is my purpose. Power, power, power. Love, love, love. Scorps, I hope this does resonate with y'all. If it does, please do give me a like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for spending some time with me and sharing your energy with me. And I will see y'all again soon. Bye.